Right, Saturday, 9 a.m. Hey, February 19th, thanks for joining me. All right, lots to talk about, so let's just get right into it. Of course, we're focusing now on the winter storm that will be affecting our region Monday into Tuesday. It's going to be a fairly long duration event. I'm thinking somewhere in the 36-hour to 48-hour type of an event, and it really is going to depend on where you're located. And I'll show you what I mean by that here in just a moment. Okay, first off, let's just get take a look at the energy in our atmosphere. We call this vorticity at 500 millibars. This is at about 20 to 25,000 feet in our atmosphere, and this is our storm right here. This is up in the Gulf of Alaska. It's now starting to move southeast towards the west coast of North America. That would, of course, be Canada and the United States. Is going to dip down into Washington and into the northwestern United States. And I'll show you that here as I put this into motion. Okay, here's the storms. There you can see the energy, and here it is now. When we look at Sunday night now, the energy is going to be located on the west coast. This is very important. Let me just rewind that for you here a little bit. This is late Saturday evening, and here's Sunday evening. Okay, so within that time frame, the storm system comes ashore, and I talk about this a lot of, or most of the time, I talk about this how we need to really wait for the storm to come ashore before we get the highest confidence in the storm system and where snow bands are going to set up and all that good stuff, because short-term model guidance, which would be your NAM computer model guidance, your rapid refresh guidance, all that good stuff, they really look at data points in the United States on land more than they do in the ocean. Data points in the ocean, which there isn't very many of them, by the way, are taken more into account with the GFS computer model guidance and European computer model guidance. So, long story short, we really want this storm to come ashore before you can start trusting the NAM computer model guidance, the rapid refresh, and any other short-term guidances. And again, it does come ashore here on Sunday night, and then look at how it cranks a system northeast into the upper Midwest here with some real decent energy. I'll rewind it again. Some real decent energy here Monday night and into Tuesday. Okay, so that's important. All right, let's just show you right off the bat what I'm expecting here for snow totals. This is likely going to change some, of course, but computer model guidance has been really, really consistent here. Hasn't deviated much just in the last 24 to 48 hours with their runs, and there's consensus with the guidances, and I'll show you that here in a little bit, between the GFS, the European, and now the NAM computer model guidance are all latching on to a real heavy area of snow, and it's going to be a widespread area of snow too, but with the heaviest falling near or just north of the core Twin Cities metro. As you get into Anoka, Santee counties, these are the areas that probably stand the best chance of receiving over a foot of snow from this storm system. But regardless, I think much of the Twin Cities metro is in line for well over a half a foot of snow. And some areas, especially as you travel a little bit north, getting near that foot, if not in excess of a foot. And then there will be a pretty sharp north to south snow gradient, south to north snow gradient across central Minnesota, and then a more gradual snow gradient across southern Minnesota. So Mankato, Rochester, then heading east towards Eau Claire. I think those areas are pretty much a sure bet to get a half a foot of snow also. And of course, as you start heading north and west towards the Twin Cities, the totals should go up. We'll likely, of course, be massaging this snow band and snow totals map here as we go through the next 24 to 48 hours. Long story short, I think everybody's going to get in on heavy snows in our region. That means travel impact is going to be felt mostly over southern and central Minnesota and much of northern Wisconsin. That's not a surprise. As you head south into Iowa, by the way, I think the precipitation, there's going to be a dry slot somewhere in southern and central Iowa. That dry slot will be pushing and surging northeast into southern Wisconsin, hence the reason why precipitation likely gets cut off in that portion of the Midwest. Okay, let's get to some important stuff here. Here's the jet stream, the River Ver now, 30 to 35,000 feet. This is from the NAM computer model guidance. This is hot off the press from this morning. And we're looking at Sunday night. And as we get into Sunday night and Monday morning, this is kind of critical here. This is right around 9 a.m. Monday morning. You can see this jet streak. Within the jet stream, it's an area of stronger winds within the jet stream that we call the jet streak. It sets up over northern Minnesota, and this is critical because right on the southern edge or the right rear quad of that jet streak, so probably somewhere right in here, is where a band of snow is going to develop. It's going to be the early onset of the snow, and it'll be a narrow band of snow, but it's an important band of snow because where that sets up on Monday morning is going to kind of tip the hand of where the axis of the heaviest snow is going to fall throughout that 48-hour period on Monday and Tuesday. Now, as we go through time, look at how this is just a beautiful jet stream structure. We got a trough, powerful trough digging into the western sections of the U.S., and then coming out of the southern Rockies is another jet streak. You can see it here from the Texas Panhandle up towards Illinois now. And then, of course, that other jet streak that we've been talking about over northern Minnesota. And in between these two jet streaks is where usually intense lift occurs. So that would place much of southern and central Minnesota and almost the whole state of Wisconsin in a perfect spot from an upper aerodynamic standpoint for significant precipitation. And with all the cold air that's in place, this is going to be likely pretty much predominantly in the form of snow. So the jet stream is really looking good, and the upper air structure and dynamics are looking fantastic for a winter storm. Here also is the NAM computer model guidance. I'm focusing in now on right around midnight Monday night and Tuesday morning, because I think that's when this storm is really going to be hitting the hardest. Somewhere between 6 p.m. Monday to noon on Tuesday. I think that's going to be the bullseye time for the majority of the snow here. But look at the low-level winds here at 850 millibars. This is about 5,000 feet in our atmosphere. And look at how they're coming up out of the south in eastern Iowa and then wrapping into this storm system over southern and central Minnesota. This is going to be transporting moisture and advecting moisture and warm air up and over the cold dome of air. This is going to really be some impressive Arctic air for this time of the year over the Dakotas and northern Minnesota. So we get that fetch of moisture and warmth riding up and over that cold dome of air and then, of course, wrapping into the storm system. And that creates what we call a deformation axis or trawl. And we get that spinning. You'll see it with the radar echoes as we get into Monday night and especially Tuesday. You'll see a spin in the atmosphere where the snow actually kind of sits in place over southern and central Minnesota and northwestern Wisconsin. And that's because of the winds here in the lower levels. Now, when we look at temperatures at the same time, look at this impressive area of Arctic air basically from Minnesota and northern Wisconsin on north and west. Temperatures at the surface are going to be 15 to 20 below zero up here in North Dakota and northwestern Minnesota. So that just tells you the impressive surge of Arctic air that we are going to be able to tap with this storm system. Meanwhile, eastern Iowa, they're probably going to be in the 40s and 50s as we get into Monday afternoon and Monday evening. In fact, I haven't seen this yet, but let's just take a look at the expected temperatures now. I'm going to rewind this to Monday evening, and yeah, look at this. Temperatures probably in the upper 30s and 40s in Missouri and southeastern Iowa. Let's just go back even further here. So temperatures at least in the low 40s probably in western Illinois, eastern Iowa, and then temperatures well below zero up in North Dakota. So there's a good 50 to 55 degree temperature difference from, that's probably 400 or 500 miles, so not very far from eastern North Dakota to eastern Iowa. And of course, in between, we're going to have this real strong warm front and low pressure system, and a baroclinic zone is what we call when we get a real sharp temperature contrast. And that baroclinic zone is going to be situated right over southern and central Minnesota and northern Wisconsin. So a perfect setup for precipitation, and it'll likely be in the form of snow. Here's the NAM guidance now. I was mentioning how we're looking to see where that initial narrow band of snow sets up. Here's Sunday evening. We don't have anything here in Minnesota, but watch what happens by midnight Sunday now, and then here we go into Monday morning. Look at this narrow band. It's about a 50, 100 mile wide band of snow that starts to finger east into Minnesota, so that by noon or so on Monday, I think that axis of that first band of snow is going to be somewhere from Brookings, South Dakota, or Aberdeen, South Dakota, east to near or in the Twin Cities metro, and then continuing east to near Hayward or so, or Rice Lake, Wisconsin. So this, in theory, would eventually become the bullseye for the heaviest snow throughout this winter storm. And that's what I currently have on my snow graphic. And most of the model guidances are starting to latch onto this also. And then, of course, as we go through time, by Monday evening, snow starts to fill in over all of southern Minnesota. That would include Mankato and Rochester, and then east into Eau Claire, Wisconsin. And certainly, no doubt, by Tuesday morning, we'll probably have a second surge of snow coming into the region here. So this may be a couple of rounds of real heavy snow. One Monday morning into the afternoon, perhaps a bit of a lull. Don't hold your breath for that lull, but we may have a little bit of a lull over Monday night and Tuesday morning, then another surge of snow Tuesday morning into the afternoon hours. We'll fine-tune that timing here as we go through the next 24 to 48 hours. All right, here we go. We're about 48 hours away now. So we're Saturday morning, Sunday, so about 36 to 48 hours away from the onslaught of the snow. So this is a pretty good time to start looking at potential snow from the model guidances. I usually like to pay more attention to accumulating snow from guidance within about 48 hours of the storm's onslaught. So here we go. This is the European guidance, and might be overinflated, but it does go to show you that the Euro guidance is expecting over 1.5 feet of snow from Aberdeen, South Dakota, east through the St. Cloud area, and then continuing east into the Lakes country of northwestern Wisconsin, Hayward, Spooner, those areas. Here's your sharp north to south gradient. I don't think there's any doubt that that's going to occur. And where that gradient sets up, of course, is going to be challenging. The good news is, if you want to call it good news, is that I'm not expecting much of a snow gradient over the Twin Cities metro. And then, of course, more of a gradual snow gradient over southern Minnesota and the I-90 corridor. If we look at the GFS computer model guidance, it has the snow band almost in the same spot, but it actually brings the heaviest band of snow into the northern Twin Cities metro. And if we'll zoom in here into just into Minnesota, so you can get a closer look here. And the GFS puts the axis of heavy snow almost right through the heart of the Twin Cities metro, maybe Anoka County and northern Washington counties and Wright counties. So that's really the biggest difference between the GFS and the Euro guidance, is that the Euro puts that snow band, the heaviest band, about 50 miles further north. We're starting to split hairs here. Screaming message is that pretty much everybody's going to get in on the heavy snow. Even the Mankato, Rochester, and Eau Claire areas, probably well over 0.5 foot of snow when it's all said and done. So this will likely prove to be the biggest snowstorm, maybe not as far as totals in one certain area are concerned, although that could be the potential too. But just the widespread nature of this winter storm and how it's going to affect basically almost the whole state of Minnesota, except for probably the northern third of the state, and then almost the whole state of Wisconsin, except for maybe extreme southern Wisconsin. Okay, real quickly, here's your trigger graph. And when I send out a new trigger graph for you, I'll send it out tomorrow, but my confidence is sky high for heavy snows Monday into Tuesday, and I still am a little concerned about accumulating snow Thursday, so we'll have to pay attention to that system once we get done with this one here. But just rest assured, it's going to be a busy week ahead. And I can't stress how important it is when we look at the radar. And let's just, I'm going to put this into motion here. This is from the NAM computer model guidance. I can't stress how important it is to watch where that finger of snow sets up as we get into Sunday night and Monday morning. Here it is again. Where does the axis of this west to east band of snow set up on Monday morning? Because that's going to tip the hand of this storm system on where eventually, when it's all said and done, the heaviest snow band is going to set up. So the NAM's got it from eastern South Dakota, northeastern South Dakota, right through the northern Twin Cities metro. So let's just ride with that for now. Somewhere in that St. Cloud to Twin Cities range is where that heaviest band of snow will likely set up. All right, that's it. Hey, thanks for joining me. We'll probably have another video weather briefing for you tomorrow. And if not tomorrow, certainly Monday morning. But I think I'm going to have one for you tomorrow morning. All right, take care.